Hey everyone, Serena Starlight Witch here. I hope everyone is doing well. So today I am doing two things in this video. I am clarifying something I said, and I also pulled a card for the collective for those of you who are in need of a message, and for those of you who watched this video. So if you don't want to hear everything that I need to say, you can just skip to the card when I explain the card. But the first thing I want to do is explain something that I said and clarify, because as I said before, I do have mediumship abilities. I do get constant downloads from my spirits. I do get channeled messages from them, and not long after I made that video where I talked about how much a spell should cost, my spirits came to me and they were like, you need to clarify that. People are going to take that wrong. People are going to misunderstand. What I said was that spells over $400 are definitely a scam, and I should not have said that because that's wrong. That's not true. I was thinking of scammers when I said that. And even though my spirits knew what I meant, they knew that people who were going to watch the video wouldn't understand what I meant by that, and they would take it the wrong way. And they're like, you need to clarify that. You need to explain what you meant by that. And I said, okay, I'll do that. So I want to say there are two major scams going on right now. And there's a lot of scams going on right now. And I know I talk about scams a lot, but it's because it is something my spirits are wanting me to talk about. They are pushing me. I mean, daily they are pushing me to talk about scams. And I'm going to make a whole video about it. I'm going to explain what the spirits have told me, because they have given me a really big channeled message about scammers. I mean, Hecate, she had a lot to say. Archangel Michael, he had a lot to say. They all had a lot to say, but especially Michael and Hecate. I mean, everyone is upset about the scams. All the spirits are upset. But that's going to be a long video, because they talk about a lot of things. They talk about how doing spiritual work is a divine gift. It is also a gift that you inherit from your ancestors. And thousands and thousands of people are doing spiritual work that they're not meant to do, that they're not supposed to do, or that they're only meant to do for themselves and not for clients. It is not something that very many people are meant to do. It is a gift. It is also something you inherit from your ancestors. The spirits also choose you. Source chooses you. I could talk about this forever, but a lot of people are doing this and they're not supposed to. They're not meant to. They don't have the gift. They are scamming. They are taking advantage of spirit. They're taking advantage of other people. The spirits are very angry, and they don't usually get upset with humans. They don't usually get involved in stuff like this, especially drama, but they've had enough. They've told me that they have some stuff coming for these people. These people who are doing work, this kind of work that they're not supposed to be doing. They're scamming. The spirits have basically said that it's going to be handled. These people have got some serious karma coming for them. But, you know, basically there's thousands of people doing this work, and Spirit told me only a handful of people in the world are supposed to be doing spell work. It is a gift that only a few have. Whereas thousands are doing it, only a few hundred are supposed to be doing it, is what my spirit showed me. In regards to doing it as a career, selling their services, now lots of people can do magic and help themselves and even their loved ones. But as for helping other people, it's not. All these people who are doing it, they're scamming. It's not like, they're not supposed to be doing that. That's as simple as I can put it. Like I said, I'm going to make a long video about everything that my spirits have told me. But that's why I talk about scams a lot, because that is the main thing that they're talking about right now. It is the main thing that they want me to talk about. I think a lot of it has to do with TikTok, because they've had enough with TikTok, because there's so many scams. You know, so many people taking advantage of spirits, using the spirit's name to scam, using, you know, people's emotions to scam. I'm going to make a video again talking about what they said. I'm also going to make a video explaining the signs of a scammer. But three big signs is people guaranteeing results, people doing multiple spells at once. Like if you see someone, you see it on TikTok a lot, there will be someone doing spells and they'll have like all these trays of spell work. And I just think, I'm like, really? You cannot do multiple spells at once. You can't do it. You cannot. You cannot be taking your hands and doing all this energy work and pushing all this energy into multiple spells. I mean, that is a big one. If you see someone with all these trays of spells, they're a scammer. Okay? They're a scammer. You cannot do multiple spells at one time. You can do spells one after the other, but still, one spell takes usually over an hour. I mean, my spells take me about an entire day just to do one spell, because I do my spells in a certain way. But you can't do multiple spells at once. You can't push energy at multiple spells at once. I mean, the energy is going to collide and get confused, and it's going to get messy. And really, you should let your candle burn down till it's almost completely done before you even start another spell. So that's one big sign. Another big sign is when they're doing spells on live, like they're working at an Amazon, taking one order after the other, and just, you know, doing one spell after the other on live. Now, you can like teach spells on live, you know, like you can do spells on live, but it's different. Like a lot of people who are doing it are scammers. But basically, when they're scamming is when they're like working like, you know, like they're at Amazon, basically, you know, packing one order after the other. You know, someone purchases a spell and they put it together and they say next and then do another one, if that makes sense. You can't do that. But I'm going to go into more detail, but those are the three major signs of a scammer. So my whole point of making that video was to help people understand more about the price range that they should be looking at when getting a spell, to help prevent them from getting scammed. And so basically, I said you want to look at a price range between $100 and $400. That's a decent price range for one spell. Anything that's too cheap is a scam. You can't do a spell for $5, for $10, for $20. You can't do it. Those are scams. But also you have people who are the opposite, and they're charging $1,000 to $2,000, $3,000 for one spell. Now listen, I have studied witchcraft since I was 14 years old. I have studied all kinds of magic. I don't know what kind of magic these people are doing to be charging $2,000 for one spell. I mean, you must be God. Okay, you must be a goddess upon the earth. I mean, I don't know what kind of magic those people are doing to be charging that much. That's just crazy. For multiple spells, sure. Definitely. For multiple spells, you're going to be looking at a couple thousand, but not just for one spell. That's crazy. But what I said was, I said that any spell that costs over $400 is probably a scam, or is definitely a scam, is what I said. And I should not have said that. And Spirit was like, you shouldn't have said that. You need to clarify that. And I was like, well, yeah, I need to clarify that. You're right. Because when I said that, I was thinking about people who charge $1,000 to $2,000 per casting. That's what I was thinking about. So I shouldn't have said it that way. So there are spells that are going to cost over $400. There are people who charge over $400 for one spell, and they are not scammers. Especially people who practice things that are like closed practices, magic that not a lot of people can do, that require more offerings, more expensive ingredients that take a long time to do, more energy to do, that is going to cost over $400, maybe $500, $600, $700. So that, that is possible. That is a thing. Not every spell that people charge over $400 for is a scam. I was only thinking about the scammers when I said that. I was very emotional when I made that video because I'm just sick of the scammers. So I want to clarify that there are spells that are legit that are going to cost more than $400. In fact, some of the spells that I am going to be offering in the future will be around $400. And I don't think I will ever charge anything over $500. But I am, like, there's a money spell in particular that I will be charging around $400 for in the future. Just because it is very hard to do. It requires a lot of ingredients, offerings. I'm not going to go into the details. But there are times where practitioners do have to charge a lot of money for their services because of the offerings, the ingredients, the time. A lot of times it's the ingredients and the offerings that cost a lot. But I wanted to clarify that and explain better. But, please be careful before you give someone a heavy chunk of change. When you're going to be spending over $300-400, you need to do your research into that person. You need to think it through. No matter how desperate you are, no matter what you're going through, don't just drop a bag of gold on that person. I know that life can get hard, I know that people can get very desperate, especially when, you know, they're like in a breakup and they desperately want their ex back. You can be desperate enough to pay someone $2,000 or $3,000, even more. You know, if you're going through that, I'm deeply sorry, but try to listen to what I'm saying. Do your research. Think it through. Know that nothing is guaranteed. No magic in the entire world can guarantee you results. No matter what magic they are doing, no matter how powerful they are, once they cast that spell, it is out of their hands. We don't know what's going to happen once we finish that spell. It may work, it may not work. We can never guarantee results. So keep that in mind. So again, no matter how bad you're feeling or how desperate you are, please, before you drop a freaking purse of gold on a spell service, please do your research and really think it through. Because there are a lot of scammers right now. So yeah, it is okay to spend over $400 for a spell. You just have to be extremely careful because there's a lot of scammers who are charging nickels and dimes, and then you got a lot of scammers who are charging thousands. So just please be careful. I mean, even though I am a practitioner who charges people, I still deeply care about people, and I don't want people to get scammed. I can't promise results. I can't. I can promise you that I will do my absolute best when I do your spell. I will put all my energy and effort into it. I can promise you that. But I can't promise results, and no one in this world can promise you results. So I want to clarify that. I want to clarify that spells over $400 are not always scams. A lot of the times they are, but not always. There are legit practitioners out there who charge quite a bit of money, and they deserve that money. They have every right to charge that amount of money. I just wanted to warn people about the scams because I care. Especially in this economy, you know, the economy is really, really bad right now. So I don't want people to get scammed. It breaks my heart quite a bit. But this video is going into 20 minutes long, but I am going to make a video about more about the scammers, more about the channeled messages I received from Spirit. It's just a lot. And I'm going to have to find the time to sit down and talk about it. I think that's all I needed to say. I think that's all. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anything. I kind of started ranting. I think that's all. So let's get into the card that I pulled. So I asked Spirit for a card for the collective, for those who watch this video, and it is a timeless card, so it doesn't matter when you watch this video. So, and this card is not going to be for everyone, so if it doesn't resonate, just forget about it. But this is the Knight of Swords. So this can be about travel, especially over air, like plane travel. So you could be traveling in the near future. You could also be getting a unexpected phone call, text message, email. The Knight of Swords is very like air energy and quickness, so this can be about plane travel, car travel, long distance traveling, getting messages quickly, unexpectedly. It can mean something very unexpectedly is going to happen, something very suddenly, unexpectedly. It could be good or bad. I would have to pull more cards to know for sure. But I don't get a bad feeling. So, but it can mean something sudden happening, good or bad, just something that you were not expecting. It can mean that you're rushing into something without thinking it through. So if you're rushing into something without thinking it through, and I just realized that this card could be for people who are, ready to spend a bunch of money on a service without thinking it through. So if you are considering that, then this card could be telling you to think it through, because the Knight of Swords does not think things through. He rushes. He just runs into traffic without thinking. Basically, he's determined. He knows what he wants, but he rushes into it. He's impatient, doesn't think things through. So that card kind of resonates with what I was talking about. I didn't even realize that until now. So I think that could be a reminder from Spirit that yes, think things through before you spend a lot of money on a spell, or even just a little bit of money on a spell. Because you're also giving out your personal information. It's not just about losing money. It's about putting yourself at risk and your person of interest, if there is a person of interest. But yes, this can be about traveling, getting an unexpected message, something sudden and unexpected happening. And it could be a reminder to be patient and think something through before you go rushing into something. So yeah, I hope that card helps. Please let me know. And I notice a lot of people are watching my videos, but not really anyone is subscribing. I would really, really appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel. I am extremely grateful. And hopefully if more people find out about me, I can help them from getting scammed, because that is really important to me and my spirits right now. So I would really, really, really be grateful, and I am really grateful if you subscribe to my channel. I do have big plans for my channel. I'm going to be teaching spell work, teaching about herbs and oils. I'm going to be doing pick a card readings. I'm also going to be doing true crime readings. Spirit has been greatly pushing me to do that recently. I'm going to be doing love readings, teaching how to do spells. I'm going to be doing all kinds of things. I just really want to help people and really get this information out there. It's not all about the money for me. It's definitely not. So anyway, I'm going to stop yapping now. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and have a wonderful day.